It is almost officially time for you to sign on the dotted line and purchase your new home. But you have a final walkthrough left to do. In today's video, I'm going to go through all the things, why it's important, who goes with you, and what you need to look for. So stick around. Hey everyone, my name is Danae Hewitt and I am your go-to DFW realtor with Brico Realty Services. Thanks for tuning in today, and let's get into today's topic. What is a final walkthrough? It is one last chance for the buyers of a house to walk through the property to make sure that it is in the same condition as it was when they purchased the house. It's also one last chance to make sure that no other issues have come up in the house since putting that offer in. It is not required by law for you to walk through the house before you sign on the dotted line, but I highly encourage you to walk through the house one more time before you go and spend hundreds and thousands of dollars on it. I mean, don't you want to put eyes on it one more time before you sign on the dotted line? Yeah, I thought so. And if you are selling that house, then you are required to give the buyers and the buyer's agents reasonable access to the house. Here in Texas, paragraph 7A of our contract, you are signing that you agree to allow them reasonable access to the property when you sign that initial contract. And also, sellers have to have the utilities on the entire time during that contract. So the utilities must be left on for this final walkthrough. This final walkthrough usually happens the day before closing, or sometimes even the morning before closing, and then the buyers and their agents just drive over to the title company to sign on the documents. Who attends the final walkthrough? Well, of course, if you're buying the house, you attend it, and you also are there with your agent that has helped you throughout this entire transaction. Your agent should bring with them a copy of the executed contract as well as any addendums that are along with it. And then they should also bring the executed amendment that states any repairs that the seller needed to do at their expense prior to closing. Those repairs should also come with receipts, and you want to make sure that those receipts that you receive are showed as paid in full, because you don't want to have a mechanical lien put on the house because, let's say, the roof was replaced prior to closing, but if the sellers don't pay for it, then that roofing company can put a lien on the house, a house that you now own. So you want to make sure that any receipts that you receive from the seller's agent shows that that work was paid in full. Your agent has all of this documentation with them at that final walkthrough, and now you guys walk the property, and you want to make sure that you are checking absolutely everything as you are going through the house. It's not a formal inspection, but you are going to make sure that all of the systems are functioning properly. And what I mean is opening and closing all of the windows and doors, flushing all of the toilets, making sure that the hot water and the cold water work in the bathroom and in the sinks and in the kitchen sinks. You also want to open and close the garage door. You want to run the garbage disposal, run those exhaust fans, test the heating and the air conditioning. Turn all of the lights on and off. Make sure those fans are working. You want to inspect the ceilings, the walls, the floors, and really just make sure that you have looked at everything and verified that everything is working in the house as intended. And then you go to those repairs. Those are the repairs that you and the seller both agreed upon that those would be fixed prior to closing. Well, double check those. Even if you have those receipts, still just double check that whatever it is, that is working properly. Here in Texas, we have something that's called a buyer's walkthrough and acceptance form. Now, honestly, I don't see this used a ton, but I have seen it used. And this is when the buyers will sign off that they have had the home inspected or not, and they will also sign off that they did one last final walkthrough or not. For any agents out there, I strongly advise that if your buyer clients are deciding not to have a home inspection done and not to do a final walkthrough, that you have them sign off on this just to cover your bases. If anything were to come down the line, you've got proof that they signed off that they didn't want to have those things done. Once you've done your final walkthrough, then congratulations, you can head to the title company and sign on the dotted line, and the home is officially yours. If you've got any questions about a final walkthrough, leave them in the comments below, and check out that video. It's gonna be a good one right there. See you next week, everyone.